women could not even, heck, a black woman couldn't even have, and I think others, white women were like 19, 20, somewhere in there. If women were seen as secondary, if women were not seen as individuals that could go get a job to take care of themselves, or that could even get a phone line, or that can make decisions on their own. Women could not even sit on a jury for particular cases for a very, very long time, right? If that is the case, and now women have evolved, you have to remember, we have had decades of time that has gone by, of folks advocating for women to be able to work, for women to have pay, all of that, equal pay and all. We still ain't there yet, but for women to be seen as human beings, right? So the beautiful thing in this for you fellas is I need you to get past your feelings, because what all of this is saying is women can now judge you on your character, your integrity, how you live your life, how you show up, your word. This is a beautiful thing, fellas, because guess what you guys say? We don't want women that only want us for our money. Perfect. We got our own now. Perfect. I got some money. You got some money. You got some assets. I got some assets. Perfect. Let's put those things to the side and see who you are outside of that. Is an issue because the patriarchy in society has only taught me that my only worth is what I can provide and what I can protect. So it doesn't compute to me that I have to be more than that. I don't know how to do that. Nobody taught me how to communicate as a man. Nobody taught me that my feelings matter. Nobody taught me that I have to show up in other ways outside of money. Okay, Mr. Hustler said, I can dig that. Yes, this is what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. When you say that women want more, that's a good thing for you. I want you to see it as a good thing. I want to change the narrative of what's being said. We have our own money. If, for instance, if I'm making $150,000 and you making $150,000, right? I don't need you for your money. What do you add to my life that money cannot buy? That's what I want you as men to dive deep in. What do you offer other than money? I can protect myself because guess what? Women walk around in fear for the most part all the time, being afraid of you guys because the harm, the grapes, the assaults and thing typically happens by people that look like you. So we're already every day walking in protection mode. So we really don't need you for protection like that, because the only people you're protecting us from is people that look like you. So if we don't need you for protection and we don't need you for money, but we still want to be with you, what else do you have? This is where self-development, my loves, is required. Okay? This is where figuring out who you are outside of your debit card, your dominance, and your dingling. Okay? This is when that's required. So actually, fellas, it puts you in a superb position to do self-development. Okay? Yes, I believe that too, Hustler. He said, I think also dudes have leveled up from being called scrubs. Now they have money and still suckers. Exactly. And this is why. It's because men have only been taught that their value comes from money. So they go get the money. This is why you see so many successful men having issues in relationships and, on their fourth or fifth wife, or, second, third, fourth, or fifth wife. It's because they spent their time developing their skills to produce financially, but they did not take into account that women were doing the same thing, yet they did not do any work to develop their relational skills, their communication skills, their empathy skills. They didn't do that. So this is what we're dealing with. This is why it's like men are fighting. It's like they're pulling for straws. Like, well, I don't even know what to do. And you single. And that's why your vagina's thing. And that's why you're a baby mama. And you like baby dad. It's like they're pulling from things that women don't care about. Like, it's no longer a dig, right? It's no longer a dig. So the purpose of me sharing this is for you to understand women want more from you, and the more has nothing to do with money, because the average American man makes $63,000 a year. The average American woman is in the mid 50s. So it's not the money thing. Women are divorcing men today for the things that I'm sharing with you now. Women, they file for divorce the most. And a lot of times it has nothing to do with money. Wealthy men are getting divorced every day because they're lacking the other pieces that they have not developed. So you're going to have to raise your digs or raise your mental and intellectual skills, your emotional intelligence, or intellectual maturity skills. Okay, this is what you're seeing, fellas. This is why studies show that men are lonelier and more sexless than ever. It's because women have rose up in the financial department and the social economic department. Studies show that women buy more house, single women buy more homes than single men. A lot of you are still in apartments. So if this is all you told you were supposed to do, provide her with a house, a car, pay the bills, you're like a walking empty robot. You don't communicate. You don't share your feelings because you feel like ain't nobody gonna listen, but yet you don't choose a woman that can hear you, see you, and understand you. So that means you're not picking the right kind of women. So if women are rising up here and we're on the same playing field where that you have been, it's been embedded in you since from the beginning of time that all you are is this, and we can now match you with the provision, what else do you have? What you got? Because you can use, she gonna be living with a bunch of cats. There's nothing wrong with that if I'm going to be dealing with somebody whose mental capacity and emotional capacity is that of a cat. You got to remember what women are weighing dealing with someone that only knows how to provide and protect, but don't have anything else. Women that are already doing that for themselves. So it makes a woman say, I would rather deal with my cats and I would rather deal with my dog and then deal with someone who, as a human, who should be able to communicate, to be able to verbalize, to be able to show up and evolve from a spiritual place. I'd rather, if I'm going to have to deal with something, I would rather deal with that. So fellas, honestly, you are in the perfect position right now to ask yourself, what do I bring to a woman's life that money can't buy? Because you all want women that are, she ain't no Debbie. When you say these modern women, what you're saying is, well, a lot of you are confusing with modern women go to work. Modern women go to work. It's traditional men who go to work and take care of all the bills. So because most of you cannot afford to do that, you're going to be with a more modern woman. And modern woman just means she is functioning in today's time. It doesn't mean that she does not still have some traditional values. But if you want a woman to go 50-50 with you, you're asking for a modern woman. Well, a modern woman is going to require you to have more than just money, because a modern woman is going to be out there working herself. So make up your mind. If you want a traditional woman, go get that money up so that you can have a woman that all she does is take care of you and the kids. But even that woman is still going to require you to but y'all. So yes, I just got finished getting my hair did, so I had to stop and have this conversation with y'all, after I just got my hair did, child. But fellas, I want you to understand, I really do, that you are in the best time to evolve, because no longer can you use the excuse, women only want me for my money, when women are leaving men with money because of the lack of emotional intelligence, intellectual maturity, not knowing how to be more than empty robots with money in their pocket. So, fellas, my question to you is, what you gonna do? Because it's like y'all still pulling from old ways of doing things. And you kind of want a traditional woman with some modern, but you're not bringing what you need to bring either way. A modern woman, she don't need you for money. So you're going to have to develop in that area somewhere. A traditional, for those of you that want her to stay home and take care of kids, you're going to have to be a traditional man and get your money up so you can afford that. Either way go, my loves, you're going to have to do some inner work, baby. Yeah. And a lot of you who say, well, we going over to other countries. Yeah, that's fine too. Because those women, they're not used to anything. So you just existing is better than what they're accustomed to anyway. Period. So that still is not, well, it could be good for you if that's all, if all you want to be and is just that and seen as I can just take care of somebody with what I have. But don't you want to be more? Okay, so basically y'all want more than a leader, protector, and provider. Yes. How many times have we got to say it? Emotional intelligence and intellectual maturity, what we want. See, and I don't even blame y'all, fellas. Understand, I don't even blame y'all. It's the patriarchy. It's the men that came before you, hear me out, that said women were nothing more than baby making machines and to be there for your sexual pleasure and to be domesticated. Well, guess what? Even in a woman's oppression back then, she didn't have to go to work. She didn't have to leave the house. Y'all want these three things and you can't afford it. You got to pick a struggle, baby. You got to pick a struggle. So I don't blame necessarily men for being in the state that they are right now, because it was the men who came before them that set things up this way. This is why y'all got to pay alimony, because it was the forefathers that came before you that said a woman's job was only to be in the home. Now, when they split up, you got to take care of her. So what you're doing is you're fighting against evolving, but you're also fighting against the standards that were set by men for you before you got here. That's what's going on. So this is the first time ever in history that women are not choosing men strictly because they have money, because we're not in survival mode anymore. I understand, but isn't leadership comes in different aspects? Here's the thing. Man up and stop looking for ways around. Bottom line, you men that want feminine women, we only respond at that level of our femininity with you by true leadership, emotional intelligence, intellectual maturity, being a provider and protector as well. Stop trying to skirt around and just wise up. Go hang out with some older men who are emotional intelligent and have intellectual maturity, that have learned, because a lot of the old heads got y'all where y'all at. Think about it. Most men that are in jail, especially black men that are in jail, it wasn't behind no woman. It's behind following the OGs. Think about it. Everybody blames everything on the woman, but majority of black men are in jail because they were following older black men with that same mentality that led you down this path. For those that are in jail for drugs, who gave it to you? It's the OGs. Those that are in jail for gangbanging, it's the OGs. Come on. Let's get out of our feelings and evolve. Y'all asking us to evolve. We're asking for you to evolve. So if me saying going to talk to an older man, make sure he's an evolved older man. Make sure of it, because he's programmed to only provide and protect. That's it. They have nothing else. As a woman that's 49 years old that decided, you know what, I'm gonna be on the dating scene again. I didn't want to date. I wasn't interested in getting married for a long time, because I've been married, had kids, became an empty nester at 42. I wanted to do me. Had kids at 18. I was cool. But now that I've decided, you know what, let me see what's out here so I can settle down. The 50-plus-year-old men, majority of them do not have emotional intelligence, intellectual maturity. I find the emotional intelligence and intellectual maturity with the younger guys that I may go out with. That's the thing. This is why you're seeing an uprise, fellas, of women dating younger men and younger men wanting older women. Because the younger men came up in a time where it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to talk about your emotions. It's okay to be seen for more than just your provision and protection. That's what's happening. And then on top of that, today's 40-plus-year-old women, we don't look like the women back in the day. So now you have older men, which rightfully so, you can date who you want, that date younger women. But those younger women, unless the older man want kids, what I find is those younger women, they're on the same emotional and intellectual playing field than as the older men. And in addition to that, they're impressed with just what these men have, right? They're impressed with that. So it doesn't require older men to dive deeper. If they'll say, you know what, instead of me becoming a better man from an emotional, spiritual, and intellectual intellectual standpoint, I would rather just get somebody younger that is impressed with my Rolls Royce, that's impressed, or my Lexus truck, that I can do things for her that men in her age range can. So now it puts you in a position to say, I don't have to evolve. I don't have to evolve. And if that works for you, that's fine too. If you want to I just want to stay as I am. So I would rather just go get what's easier for me, that doesn't challenge me and require me to rise up. I don't have no problem with that. I don't. Do what's best for you. But understand, the only reason why these women are dealing with you is not for who you are, but for what you have. And this is what I'm trying to share with you. Learn about who you are at your core and what you have to offer at your core. Because younger women dealing with older men, because I don't have a problem with younger women dealing with older men, because I was one. When I was 16, I had a boyfriend 23. I've always dated men that were 6 to 15 years older than me, when I was especially in my 20s. I didn't have a problem, with that. But guess what? They all wanted to rescue me. They all gave me things that younger men in my age group couldn't, which put my standard up here. Because if I'm 26 and I'm, got a weekly allowance and doing all of these things with this older man, it makes me not want a younger gentleman, because he can't do that. So my standards skyrocketed dealing with an older man. But I also knew that those older men, I was only with them because of what they could do for me. What did I need with being 16 with a 23-year-old? He had a car. He could take me to Jack in the Box while I was at school, and he pulled up in his drop top 5.0. Yeah. When I'm 30 and things ain't going right, and I don't have much, and I'm dealing with a man, 55. Okay, yeah, he Captain Save him. I didn't want nobody 55. When I'm 27 and I got men in their late 40s, early 50s hitting on me, oh, girl, he got the house, he got the car, he gonna let me drive it. It was never anything about me liking you because you're more of a father figure, and I ain't need no daddy, but because you had assets that men my age didn't have. Yeah. Yeah. I dated men older than me simply because they have stuff. That was it. Most younger women do that because there's this level of security that younger men can't give when it comes to material things. But it doesn't mean emotionally and intellectually that you guys got it up here, because majority of them still didn't have it up here. And studies show that women are 7 years beyond men when it comes to our evolution of our emotions and our intellect. Did I ever fall in love? No. For what? I wasn't there for love. I was there because I was a young woman that was supple, and these hips and these breasts and this smile and all of this chocolate was hitting. And they would holler at me, want to talk, showing me what they could give me. It wasn't about no love. It was, I needed to get out of any of my situations, and I wanted to see what life was. What you mean love? I didn't fall in love with no old ass man. However, if you meet one that's older with emotional intelligence, intellectual maturity, and all of the other things outside of money, you got yourself a winner. But if he don't have that, girl, child, ain't nobody trying to fall in love. Ain't nobody trying to fall in love with that. So fellas, like I said, you're in a time right now in your life where you can show up with more. You can show up with your invisible value, not just what you can bring and put on the table. This is a beautiful time in history because we are the first iteration of men being required to develop from an internal standpoint, not just a monetary. And this is a beautiful thing. Yeah, like, this is beautiful, fellas. This is beautiful because you say you want to be seen for more than what you can do. Then let's get with it. Let's get with it, baby. Let's look at what your issues are. I'm here to tell you, you are more than just how much money you make and your ability to protect. I'm here to let you know that. That's why I'm having this conversation with you. Don't get offended. Don't just start oh, she said, she attacked it. No, I'm here to empower you, to let you know we want more. We got money. You still got to take care of it. But if we got to deal with an emotionally unintelligent man and still go to work, we'd rather go to work. Yeah, we'd rather go to work. So as the title says, telling us we single or we gonna die with cats and we not married, that's no longer a dig. Because what else are we getting from you if we can protect and provide for ourselves every day? Fellas, answer that in the comment section. And then don't just answer leadership. What does that look like? Who are you getting your leadership downloads from? I want y'all to go deeper, not just laying down in the chick, going deeper. You know, I don't want y'all to just be having your, that's my Michelle moments, honey. Bless his heart. Bless Unc's heart. At the end of the day, I can't even lie. I've gone live before. Didn't know I was live, and my accountant had to call me on my second phone. I was like, girl, you are live. And I'm saying, oh, I hope I didn't say nothing wrong in the last 10 minutes, child. But we want you to go dive deeper, and we're not talking about inside of us. That's not what we're talking about. There's nothing sexier than an emotional, intelligent man, and he got his ish together. That is so freaking sexy. A man that can receive what he's asking for. A man that can engage with a woman that he's never had that type of experience before, but she's good for him, and he can sit in good love. You know, we want that. We don't want you to constantly shut down. We want you to be able to say, you know what? Until I'm able to articulate how I feel, baby, give me a day. Not just disappear. You don't even have to tell us what's wrong, but having the emotional intelligence to say, I don't know how I feel right now. Give me a minute. I just know that what you said and what you did rubbed me the wrong way. Give me a minute. Instead of shutting down, and then when you come back around, she like, well, where were you at? Well, you know what happened. You know what you did. No. Even if you don't want to talk about it, say that in a text. I don't like how you said what you said, and I'm thinking about why I feel like this, or I'm thinking about how to address this with you. That's it. Yeah, growing old and alone with pets is no longer a dig. You could use that on the women that was the generation before me. But that don't work for us because we know what we're dealing with you. If we're making the same money as you, we're protecting ourselves daily because we walk around having to protect ourselves daily, and we're always on alert because the only thing, honestly, fellas, you're protecting us from is undisciplined men that look like you. Like, if this was only women, we could walk around with no bra on. We could wear our short skirts. We could be as sexy as we want to. We wouldn't have to worry about somebody groping us. We wouldn't have to worry about somebody making some nasty sexual, disrespectful comment. So the only thing men protect us from is other men. We don't need you for lions and tigers and bears and dinosaurs anymore. We're not in caveman days where we need to be protected from animals. So I need y'all to go deeper to look at who you're showing up as, and why you might not be getting access to the level of woman that You could, because you got to remember, I don't know about other women, but I believe the men that follow me and that listen to me, I believe I have some really dope men. Okay? Somebody said that's not true at all. What's not true at all, love? What I said about the only thing we need protection from is y'all? Undisciplined men like you? That look like you? That's the only thing we need protection from. There's no other reason why we need... That's why y'all tell us, don't go to the gas station at night. Walk with your keys in your hand like this. Don't wear this. Don't wear that. Because y'all know the nature of what other undisciplined men are. So we don't need to be protected for anything else. Okay? What else do we need to be protected from? Bugs, you can spray that. You don't need somebody to protect you from bugs. You just get some Raid and you spray it. You can spray it. You ain't even got to be up on it to spray it. Like, come on. So here's the thing. I want you as men, the men that follow me, I believe I have some really amazing men that ain't here to argue, but here to get better, because I know you want a particular type of woman. And I'm here to share with you how to get her. Please digress. If you don't have nothing else to say, my love, digress. And sit and listen and learn, because I'm trying to help you. A lot of you get real defensive when I start talking, and what you're not hearing through a different frequency that I'm not talking on. I'm saying we're in the best time in the world, and we're on the ground floor that it's never been a time in history where women are saying, I want more from you, and I'm not talking about money. Because most Americans are in the same tax bracket. It's only a small percent. Studies show on the labor statistics site that only 21% of men in the United States make $100,000 or more. Out of that 21%, only 8% of that is black men. So we can't even use that conversation. She wants 6 figures. She can't get it. She ain't even doing it. She can't get it. She ain't even doing it. And then the women don't provide the feminine experience in order to draw a man in that want to take care of them. That's a whole nother video. Y'all know I get on the women majority of the time. But fellas, this is for you today, because I just feel like there's so many of you that are amazing. You have the potential to blossom. I just need you to go within, okay? I just need you to go within, because you, the men right now, are going to be the new standard. The patriarchy back in the day, they created the standard that y'all fighting up against now. Women only want us for our money. Yeah, because men told us we weren't able to get jobs. We weren't able, to be individuals, and that we needed y'all. So now, my loves, you are in a position to change the trajectory of where y'all going, and where your sons and grandsons and great-grandsons, and how y'all show up in the world. Because those that came before you screwed you. You saying people used to stay married a long time. Yeah, because women didn't have no